what you actually need to know right here on The Element, where everything's rocking, real and relevant, and all for the love of hip-hop. My guest has arrived, but we have beef already, so I just want to get it out of the way. Khoskaba Max. Ewana Crow.
Hello, sis.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Mike's go on. It's hello, sis. What were you saying just now? What's your story?
My story is that I felt like I was going to get grilled coming in here.
Why? What's your problem? What happened? So let me tell you guys something. Let me tell you how this actually came about. So I was listening to a really, really beautiful album, right? And then I was like, oh my God, I have to speak to him. I shot my shot. Do you understand? Hi, how are you? I'm dreaming like to have you on the show. So I've been nothing but nice the whole time. It's not intimidating. I didn't send anybody else to do it. I've been me the whole time. I've been very polite. Hi, is it okay if I get your number so I can send you the poster? And then you walk in here and you're like, I'm nervous because what if it was all a front?
It could be, because that's how things work generally. I was like, nah, this is far too kind, it's far
really
too much kindness.
I was too nice to you.
There must be a backside to it.
What are you normally used to?
Not that much kindness.
Gents, see, that makes me feel bad because I'm like, yo, how rough is it out here?
It's rough.
What's up, Crow? Can we squash our beef?
It's been squashed. It didn't even start. I don't know. I don't know where it came from.
This person. Okay, but do you believe now? I mean, at least does my energy tell you that? Great
I'm comfortable now, it was
things are gonna be okay.
I'm 100% convinced now.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start again. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Queen?
I'm good. Have you been safe today? It's been a little bit crazy out on the roads with everything that's been happening. Did you see anything wild? What's popping?
No, not on this side. I don't think there's much going on this side. Yeah. From where I came from, really, there wasn't much going on. Even the dude I came with, so it was even there's been it's been regular activity going on.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know the parts that maybe it's Pretoria or those sides that are affected.
Earlier on, literally as I was making my way to the office, I got a text from someone saying, "Don't take our highway." I'm like, "Don't take our highway." No, it's blocked off. I was like, and then after a while it cleared up, and then they had apparently moved to the Midrand side. So there's just a lot going on today, guys. So please just be safe if you're moving out and about. If you can, work from home or just try and do your absolute best to be safe. Getting back to hip-hop, it's now gone 15 minutes before we hit 2 o'clock. We are in the middle of our Who Got Next hour. I'm kicking it with Crow, and I'm going to get to know him a lot better, and by the end of it all, we'll be best friends, because that's just how I do. I get all right, let's start all the way at the very beginning. Who is Crow? How did we get to Crow, and how did we get here?
So Crow, when I'm not Crow, the name is Apio Mweza.
Yes, mama.
Yeah, so originally I'm born Stakesbraid, Mlamli, that's where I grew up, and then we came to Carltonville in the West Rand. And then that's where I got introduced to other things, like music. But I was a mad Kwaito head before that, and then then my big bro was like hip hop.
What were your favorite Kwaito joints?
It was the typical. I was like mainstream, it was. I liked obviously Mdu.
Yes.
Yeah, Mdu Oxalai, all of those, all the classics. Yes. Obviously Mandoza.
Yes.
Alaska, Q's, that was my jam. There's a lot. So I was like an avid Kwaito fan, and then you realize that now rap and Kwaito is basically the same thing.
You feel that way?
Yeah, I feel like it's
how so?
It's just Kwaito is like how rap first had to adapt in South Africa when it got here, because it was too exotic to be liked. So people that catched it had to flip it in their own language, and then that's how I think. Unless I'm wrong, you could correct me.
No, art is very interpretive, and I think it's always interesting to hear how people look at it, because some people might agree, some people might not agree with you. So I don't think it's a question of whether you're right or you're wrong, but do you believe in what you're saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I think I saw the similarities between the two, and then obviously the more I got exposed to hip hop and rap, that's the more I feel like I resonated with that a lot more than anything else,
So you're saying your brother was the hip hop head, right?
Yeah.
What was it that he was playing or that you heard that got you hooked at first? Like, yo, what is this?
everything. Like, so it wasn't just my older brother. I had also other older cousins too,
Right.
and they used to listen to a lot of Park.
Yes.
So Park was like first introduction.
Yeah.
And then I only learned to Biggie way later, and I wish I knew Biggie earlier, but then that's fine. And then it was just like 50 Cent, you know, the typical. Then a lot of like I grew up on a lot of Eminem too. Like a lot of people might hate on Slim Shady, but hey, Slim Shady, hey, you can't hate on it. And
Right.
then, yeah, like your Bow Wows, because I was looking at him as like
At that time.
the same. Yeah, it was
At that time, it was like, if this kid can do it, then so can I.
And so can I. Yeah.
Right.
So that kind of triggered a little bit more curiosity. And then what really changed my mind is when I came back home and then my big bro was playing Obnoxious by Immortal Technique. You see, like,
Wow.
because I hadn't heard anything like that. I was like, what does even Obnoxious mean?
Right.
And the fact that I had to go and research certain things just to understand that song, I think that set me on this path of, well, okay, I like the finer things of rap. You know, I like the unexplored side where it's like
Okay.
you have to be cut from a certain cloth to resonate with that type of hip hop. So
Right.
that's when I was introduced to like that, and then Vinnie Paz and them, and then I started rapping seriously.
Yeah.
How we started rapping was on an arts and culture project in like grade 5.
What? Tell me about that. What project required you to rap in grade 5?
You had to make a piece of music.
Ah.
So we were fascinated with rap at the time.
What year was this? I don't know this syllabus.
2005. Yeah, this is the young syllabus.
Wow. What year?
2005.
You were in what grade?
5.
Hey, woo! The room just got old for some of us. Okay. All right. Grade 5, you have to make a piece of music. Yeah, guys, I have to be honest. That syllabus was not ours.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I forgot what it was called.
We come from the era way
back.
before that, so I'm kind of shook. Right, so grade 5, you've given this arts and culture project. Guys,
Yeah.
sorry, when we were doing arts and culture, it was...
Guys, what do you guys do?
we were,
Play
go get
marimba?
some cement.
Yeah.
Put it in, make it like into blocks.
No.
Build a house, and then make some paint, bender that thing, and then if you were fancy, you wrote your name on the board in some sand. You put glue there, you threw some sand.
You guys were doing woodwork, man. It was arts and culture.
So clearly things advanced. So you're in grade 5, you have an arts and culture project, and you have to make a piece of music.
Yeah, some sort of
Wow.
piece of music, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So we decided to do like a rap song and then performed it in front of the class.
So it was a group activity.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 3 of us, we called ourselves Born to Rap.
Born to rap. Sure, BTR.
I'm a BTR, but that didn't last too long, you know.
So did you guys, what was your grade on that project?
It was pretty good. Like the class loved it too. Like I don't even remember the grade, but it was the reaction that the class had to us. Like, wow.
Do you remember the raps?
I don't remember all of them. I remember I was whacked though. I remember
fine.
one line that made people react.
Give it to me.
was some clap till you crack. That's all I remember. That's all I remember. Clap till you crack. And because my homie asked me, what does that mean? How do you clap till you crack? First I thought it was dope. I was like, you clap so much that you eventually just break down.
The line was what?
Clap till you crack. Multi-syllable raps. Multi-clap till you crack.
Clap till you crack. Bars.
That's bars. For what? Grade 5? That's bars.
Hey man, like I say to you, we were busy with cement in grade 5, so you guys were doing a hell of a lot better. Clapping till you crack. That's my next caption on my Insta post. So from that, you perform in front of your class and people go mad. And then what happens?
Then that's when we just started writing. Like, it was me and my homie Raw, Ruckus, Mweti Best, that's his real name. People will know him, and also another homie Unako, another homie Tema. But then me and Raw kind of went real far with it until we got to high school.
Right.
So we were just writing. Raw came back with an album, bro. This dude wrote an album in a soft book. Like he had an album cover, and then each page was like a track with a hook and a chorus. Like,
wow.
So people, we've been doing this. And then in high school, that's when we really got into the nitty gritty, like freestyle ciphers, Cause like as soon as we got there, I think there was like a talent show, and we rapped there, and then we owned that part, and then like the dudes that used to rap at the school pulled up on us like, oh yeah, okay, you kids are nice, right? Yeah,
right.
Okay, yeah, we the nicest, you know. So you gotta battle us, and we thrashed them dudes, you know, like no offense to them. Yeah, we smacked them, and then since then it's just been like that. That's why I can say that's the origin, like, and then everything else is just being at the right place at the right time and just having dedication for this craft, you know.
So all of this is happening while you're in school, right? What are your parents saying? Because I think there comes a point in time when you are a creative kid and you're inclined to either rapping, singing, acting even, right? For a while your parents are like, it's just a hobby, he or she will get over it, and then by the time that they finish high school or whatever, they'll get over it and they'll want to go to, you know, study business or whatever it is, right? But then there are some people where that bug does not leave them. You can clear your throat, I got you.
I'm good.
See, nice person. I'm gonna win at this thing. So at what point then does it, like, firstly, what are your parents thinking as all of this is happening? You know, it's like, you know, you're focusing on books, but you've also got this thing going on. And then when does it go to being really real for them? Like, okay, this is not a hobby. This is something that my kid is actually going to pursue. How is everything while this side of you is growing and thriving?
It kind of went unnoticed for the first, for a large bulk of it. They didn't even know that I rapped. Like, it was because I wasn't flunking in school. Right. And I was still also playing sports as well after school. I was doing all the stuff that regular kids do, but it's like, okay, I wasn't doing homework. Homework was...
Were you intentionally hiding it as well, though?
Yeah.
Why? Why did you feel like you couldn't be open about it?
Because we swear a lot. I play some like rap. My pops he's liberal to an extent, you know. Right. So sometimes we play some rap, but soon as he hears, like, you know, swear words, just
right.
It's like, oh, you don't go to it's like, hey, pops, you know. So it's those little reactions that, like, let me tone it down. I think how he found out I rapped, he had to go fetch my report at school, and then he was looking for Apiu, and people don't know Apiu, they know Crow, like, and he's like, Apiu, oh, the one who raps, and he's like, yeah, probably the one who raps, and then he comes back to me, he's like, oh, Apiu, yeah, rap, and I'm like, yeah, man, I've been actually, and then he's like, oh, okay, and then he heard the track that we did, and then he's been chilled about it. He also came and supported me one time when we went to a show which is like the township side there. So I went there and then I had to perform there, and he even recorded the thing. So he was like, so yeah, they've been supportive. I thought, because I always probably think the worst before it even happens, but I thought they were gonna be like, nah, you're not gonna. I was when Zalendo, but then,
why do you always think the worst before it probably happens?
I don't know, pessimistic or whatever.
Yeah, why are you pessimistic? What has conditioned you to be that way?
Life, shit that happens, like it generally turns out like that, you know. It's never always positive. What are
the 3 not dope things that have happened in your life that got you to be like, man, you know what, I actually just can't be too happy all the time, because then the other shoe is gonna drop. I know that thing. It's like, yeah, I'm too happy right now, something's gonna come at me. What are the top 3 things that happened that kind of got you feeling like that?
Well, number one, I'd say is probably like growing up like as a black kid, and then you grow up around a bunch of like white kids that have way better things than you live, and then also you're at a point where the other black kids who have less than you also look at you like you have all that, and then you like this little outlier or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
And generally, like, also what you expect from a lot of people, like, because I grew up like with like my uncle too, so me and him weren't really like on the same page, but then it's just how life is, you know. And it's like a lot of life experiences I could go all day about, and some are like really personal and close, but what I've noticed is that people can't be, you know, what you see on the surface sometimes, it's not really what's going down underneath.
Do you think that hinders your growth and success in any kind of way? Do you think that by By because it's necessary to be discerning, right? It's necessary to not just take at face value everything and everybody, because like you're saying, not everybody is authentic, not everybody is coming at you with good intentions. So it's good to protect yourself and to be discerning in that way. But by being that guarded, do you think that there's a possibility that you are blocking yourself off from some of the blessings that could be coming your way by opening yourself up to different people and different energies and different things? But because you're wound so tight, it's difficult to get in and let things open up for you.
To some extent, because I've always went with my gut, and it's never led me astray. Every time I haven't followed it, that's when shit happens, So what I believe is, I'm built like this. It's how I've been, Maybe if I change and it happens through some life experience, then that's cool too. But I'm just gonna keep doing what I do, So I feel like what's meant to happen is gonna eventually happen,
right? Regardless
what choices I make about letting people in or But as long as I'm following my gut and trusting, like when I got here, maybe it was just me being maybe a little too and then as I relaxed, now there's nothing like that. But if I'd gotten here and I was still a little tense for no reason that I can't explain, then in my head I was going to think, okay, there's something.
We're undergoing tests, so we're not even aware out here in these streets. I don't know. Look, I get that, and I am a firm believer in trusting your gut and trusting your instincts. But I also think that as you grow and evolve and move in life, you start to realize that you aren't always right. And also, if you believe in the law of attraction as well, you preempting bad things sometimes is what attracts those bad things to you. So surely if you change a little bit, then things around you will start to change a little bit, or no?
That's easier said than done. That's like, if I change a little bit, like, that's okay. How will I go about it?
Right.
How am I going to tell myself, okay, let's be more open, let's trust people?
You could try. Really and truly, what's the worst that could happen?
I could die.
What? Oh, well, hacking. That's a bit dramatic. It's a bit strong.
What's the worst?
Okay, but aren't you also the same person who just said, what's going to happen is going to happen? You are going to die anyway. So why are you living in fear of something that is going to happen anyway?
Because I'm not really living in fear of it. I'm just acknowledging it and I'm following my gut. If my gut instinct leads me to my death, that's how it is.
I think you are living in fear of it because you are strategically moving in life to try and prevent it from coming at you when it's going to come at you anyway.
Yeah.
Alright. Round one goes to Aziza. It's just gone 2:00. It's time for us to find out what's going on in the world in our full news update. On the other side of 2:00, since I'm hanging out with Crow until 2:30, we get into the music a little bit more, so make sure that you don't go anywhere. What's up? It's just gone 8 minutes after 2:00. We're in the second and final hour of the show. I'm still kicking it with Crow until we hit 2:30. And then at 2:30, we take a look at another category from the South African Hip Hop Awards 2020. Hashtag Saha 2020 nominees are out. Vote for your favorite if they are nominated in a category that is eligible for voting. And we will be playing you contenders for Song of the Year between 2:30 and 3:00. Normally we go to Zim on a Wednesday, but PD and Lady K were celebrating their own Zim Hip Hop Awards situation that other side, so they'll catch us again next week. Crow is still here.
Yep.
So now let's talk about the name Crow, and then let's talk about this beautiful project that snatched me out of my existence and made me want to have you sitting in front of me. Yeah.
So the name Crow was initially chronic because I just looked it up in the dictionary and the word chronic is like long-lasting illness,
right?
Yeah, terminal, could possibly death-causing, just all the
gully, grimy things that were associated with hip-hop. Like, you guys must fear me.
But then as time you realize that, man, there's probably like 5 chronics in every hood.
This is facts.
There's like everybody knows a Chronic somewhere, so just cut it to Crow. And then I think like the Gnostic part was like from pumping like a lot of hiatus at the time, like in high school, like the emphatic tabs, the is like, is sort of like homage to that. And then Gnostic is like robo homage because of the track Hypnostic. So. Right. And then Gnostic also means like a seeker of knowledge. Some people mispronounce my name and call me Crow the Agnostic, and it's like, damn, bruv. And that's like a completely different thing, you know. So,
but that's why you're there to check them.
Sometimes I don't. I'll just let you.
You should. That's your identity. You should check them. You should.
How many times? Like some people make the mistake even more than twice. So it's like
you can't give up. You can't give up. Let me tell you something. My name has 3 Z's in it. This has been my struggle. My whole. You can't give up. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with a name that is not reflective of who you are.
Nah, it's a small community that calls me Crow the Agnostic. So it's
banish them.
I can't banish them. That's love I get, you know.
That's love you get. I don't know what kind of love it is if they can't say your name. Quickly though, before we get into all of that, we're gonna go get some money and then we're gonna come back with. Yo, we're back again. So we just had to go get some money quickly, and then we played one of your favorite songs, Crow.
Yeah.
We played Met Gala by Gunna. Why you like that joint?
Oh, it's bar heavy.
It's bar heavy? Is that your thing?
That's my thing, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured. So, the City of Olmec, I found it so interesting. Why did you go this route? I mean, the artwork is absolutely incredible. And your explanation of it is also dope. But why were you compelled to go this way around?
So, first and foremost, the artwork. Shout outs to my boy, Zyklon B. State of... how could I mess the name up? Is it State of the Arts? Something like that. But people know him. It's Zyklon B.
It's tricky.
It's tricky. Yeah, it's tricky. Had it, dog. Forgive me for that.
Dog.
Shout outs to him for the artwork. And then City of Olmec. It's like the why I chose that route is because that head, you see that Olmec head?
Yes.
I've got like from way back, people have said I have a resemblance to it, and I also.
Are you lying?
Yeah, the original one.
So why are you wearing
not on the cover? Yeah, because if I take it off, you'll see the uncanny resemblance.
You know what, I'm gonna treat the picture so that people can know exactly what we're talking about. Is that why, really?
Yeah, look, but like a huge head, like yes. So I've had a resemblance to that, and funny enough, my boy Zyklon, who made the cover, is the one who pointed that out back in high school because he drew it almost as a marker. And I was like, man, I actually like this. This is actually sick. And since then, I've had it in my head. And then the title just came like that. I'm also a fan of titles. Like that's how I gauge like how dope a song might be without knowing this. If the title sounds dope. So the City of Olmec just sounded, it sounded how I wanted it to sound, like in terms of just the feeling. And also I feel like it's the foundation, like how the Olmecs also left a solid foundation that lasted for years, and people still can't even figure out how they did those things,
True.
So that always fascinated me. So that's why I chose the route I did with Olmec. And when I made Olmec, it sort of came together. Like I was making the songs, just experimenting, because I also make beats, and then some of the songs came together like that. I'd make something and then record on it, and then it'd be like, okay, now this is a song. At first I had like maybe 20 songs.
Really?
Yeah, and then Saiti Tsepotlata is the one who was like, okay, now we can cut this out. Him and also Nguli Makubu, like them dudes helped me out a lot on how the tape came out. So then they just arranged everything, and then that's how we got to the tape, That's how we got to the tape. So I recorded it from November or September last year up until March. And then I just mixed it for those from March. I was mixing up until May. Then May I dropped it and just waited. But like when I made it, I knew, okay, I know I'm sitting on something solid,
Yeah.
Like I had that feeling,
What gave you that feeling? Was it what you had been writing at the time? Was it some of the beats? Was it the way that everything came together, or what was it? Because there's usually something that makes you go, okay, now I feel like I'm onto something.
At first, it was just how it came together was so organic. Like the first few tracks I did were like meh, but I was like, okay. And then the more songs I started making, the more like there were like these themes that kept coming up. Like excuse me, the bottom half of I almost call it an album too. It's actually a project. It's not an album, gents.
It's not an album, gents.
It's not an album.
It's 15 strong though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't call it EP, but it's it's not an album, no, because album is a different story for me. Like,
okay.
So I don't know what to call it. I called it LP, but then people say LP is an album, bro. Like, and it's like
I mean, that's where I'm coming from. So I'm like, I don't really know.
So we're just gonna call it a project, or a
okay.
piece.
So the thing.
So yeah, the thing itself.
So when you're speaking about the bottom half.
The bottom half of it is when I really felt like, okay, no, this is like. This is like more than just hip hop that you normally used to.
So from Build the City. The City.
Basically from Build the City.
Drift Away, Hate My Job, Tree 25 to Life, Yuppie Interlude, The Irishman, and Nostalgia Suite.
Yeah.
But before that, what was going on then? We've got Legend, we've got Goprosh, Timbuktu. What was going on there where you felt like it's almost there, but it's not quite there?
I felt like it was just like any other rap project like that. If I just had a lot of songs that sound like Goprosh, Timbuktu, and all those, it's like, it's not really, I won't knock anybody, but it won't, for me, I felt like I was doing an injustice to what I can offer, I wanted to show that, okay, now I can really rap. And the first half of that is about that. It's like, okay, if you really like raps, you're going to mess with this. But when we get down there, it's like, okay, now we're done with the raps. Now we're going to get into like some life,
storytelling. Because that's what I got. So what caught me, so whenever I listen to new music, I have to listen to new music in my car. That's the only time where I know I'm not interrupted. I can focus on that. And I'm going to hear a lot of different things. Right? So I bumped it and I was driving and I was like, whoa, okay, this is like some rapidy rap. And then along the way, I heard your mom's voice. And then I went, okay, wait. Now we're telling stories. Now I'm getting to know the person. I'm getting to get a feel of the brain behind this art. More so than, yo, this is what I can do. This is the skill that I've got. And I want to talk a little bit more about that just now. We need to keep going to get this money. We're coming back to talk all things the City of Olmec. So we were talking about the skill showcase and then the storytelling showcase. Yes, tell me a little bit more about that.
So yeah, like a way I like describing it is like the first few tracks is like the outside of the city. It's like the jungle, the defense forces, and everything. If you can't make it past that, then you don't deserve to get into the deeper side of Olmec, which is the inside, which is like the nice palace with the soft cushions and
paradise side of things.
The paradise side.
The
real side of it. So that's basically a simple way of structuring it. And then like I felt like the first half was like that, like solid raps. The bottom half was like more emotional stuff. And I think it was after I made The Irishman, I think that's when I was like, okay, now this is too much.
Really?
Too much. Yeah. Then I made 25 to Life. I think 25 to Life was the last song that I made. Yeah, like I think it was a few weeks after my birthday in March or something. And then
when's your birthday?
March 3rd. 3rd of March, yeah. So then close. So yeah,
I mean March is a good month, but it is, second week is doper.
Okay.
No, for real, that's a real chat. No, that's a real chat.
Okay, yeah, we could go all day about that, but
you need to know that I'm right.
Okay, you're right. Then. It's your show. I'm in your house. I'm not gonna come here.
But do you see the difference between a 3rd of March Pisces and a 15th of March Pisces? Authority, my man. So a couple of weeks after your birthday, yes. Yeah,
I did 25 to Life, and then that's when I was like, okay, yeah, this is good. But there were like a lot of other tracks that didn't make it into the tape, and once we filtered all that out, and it was just this. Then there's one or two tracks that could have not been on the tape now in retrospect that we debated about.
Which are those ones?
You want me to say that?
Yeah.
Nah, it's not.
Because I listen, so I'm interested to know like what if it's one of the favorites?
Nah, let's not do that.
You shook.
I'm shook to death on this one. I'm shook to death. I won't go into those details.
Okay, what made them make the cut in the end?
It was the aesthetic that they had all together, like all the elements that they added to the album.
Okay.
So there's certain songs that added like not certain songs. There's probably one song that added a new element to the album that isn't there,
right,
to the tape that isn't there, and then so that's why I decided to keep it. But when I think about it, it would have been a stronger tape without it. But
without it, okay.
Yeah.
What was the most difficult for you to pen?
Let me see. The most difficult one for me to pen.
Yeah.
I don't know. There is. I'm thinking something wants to say maybe Coprosh, but Coprosh was also pretty easy to pen down. Timbuktu's like easy too, like to pen down. So I'd probably say maybe, I don't know. There isn't one that I really like struggled with, like to be like, okay, this is hard to pen down. Yeah, okay, maybe Build the City, because I wanted to. There's a lot of themes that I wanted to touch on, but also it was just the thematic side that was a little tricky to figure out. But then, other than that, yeah, I'd probably, if gun to my head and I have to pick one of the most difficult track, it would have to be Build a City.
What is your general process that you go through? Because some people, so for instance, when I was talking to Kuli, right, he was telling me that sometimes he finds himself starting with the ad-libs on a joint before he does a joint, before anything else.
Yeah, that's dope.
Which is like wild for me, because you think that those are the things that you put in the pockets in between, you know, to add those effects. And I was like, that's weird. So for you, where does it all start? Does it start with the beat? Does it start with the concept? Does it start with just writing something and then figuring out how everything kind of comes together?
It's different for each track, but the most common thing that they have is like, it's the vibe that I pick off from the beat. You know, there's a certain way a beat makes me feel.
Yeah.
And then I either find a hook, or I might come up with the first line, because for me the first bar is important. So,
the opener. Yeah.
So sometimes the opener might come and it might sound like a hook, and I'm like, okay, this is what we're running with. Or it might sound dope as an opening for a verse.
Yeah.
And then you see like when I like Legend, like when I die they compare me with Legend. Yeah, that started off as like a verse. I was gonna make it a long thing, but I was like,
okay.
The when I die they gonna bury me a legend is enough. You know, I'm saying too much with this. And then I was like, let's make that the hook. And then I go into the verse. And then with 25 to Life, it was like that too. It's like the way the beat made me feel, it was like, yeah, man, this has to be some. And then the melody comes. Like, it's weird. Like, I want to say I almost kind of see the end result. Like how this has to make me pop like this.
Yeah.
You know, like the Irishman has to put you in a... The Irishman has to almost pull you down to like, yo, sit down and listen to this and leave you feeling heavy afterwards. Like that's what I see. I'll sort of see like the end. Okay, but okay, once I catch that first vibe, but okay, yeah, this, and then I look at, okay, how can I make this become what it's supposed to be in my head?
Yeah.
So that's how.
So the City of Olmec, right? You spoke about when we look at it thematically, and if we look at it metaphorically, right? When you're on the outside of the city, those are the first few joints, and you have to get through those to kind of earn your way through the gates to get to the gold, right? So once you're in the city, give me 5 characteristics of people who can safely and securely occupy and settle in the City of Olmec.
If you made it past the first, if you really enjoyed it, like especially after Timbuktu, because Timbuktu is like heavy. It's not for
everybody.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that would skip Timbuktu, but if you made it past that, and then you like Emancipation is also like a little like, okay, yeah, you're getting closer to the. But then it's for people like that. It's for people who thoroughly enjoy listening to the content and the lyricism and the craft behind the music, you know. So it's for people like that, because that's what I want. I want people who pay attention. You know, if you pay attention, then you deserve to make it to that, so you can pay attention to my real life stories. You know, not just the rap metaphor, you know, type of stuff. Like the the essence of who the person behind this is. It's for people who are curious enough to make it through the jungle and all the booby traps and eventually get to the gate, you know, and like the first person they meet is like the moms who's like, okay, yeah, I know, you know, this is my son, wow, and then I get to tell you the whole story. from there on. So but 5 characteristics.
Yeah, you mentioned
Good listener.
being curious. So I'm like, okay, curiosity is a characteristic that's essential.
Just a good listener.
Yes.
And number 1, being keen to listen to what I'm offering you. Some people might feel forced, because they might have grew up with me or whatever, and it's like, I have to show him love and stuff. But it's like, you're really down with this. Then you deserve to hear what makes me tick and what makes me me.
Yeah.
And then another one, those 3 basically. I don't know if 5. I can't really think of 5. I'll probably
for someone who plays with words the way that you do. You can't find 2 other words.
That's another gear. I have to shift. I'm still in neutral right now.
Why are you still in neutral?
I need to shift when the beat comes on. That's
Khata, let's go. Khata, let's go. We're going places here. Why you are?
Those words though, like just someone, good listener, curious, keen, someone who's gonna. I can't do like I'm forcing like now like. I'm forcing things. I'm gonna say the wrong things now. Like
mess.
Yeah, it's
mess. So, what are you hoping people walk away knowing? After having heard it, because people will listen to stuff and be like, "I was I." Oh, okay, you can rap, but with all of the energy, passion, love, skill, and the personal tales that you've put in, and I think especially, when you put your moms on something as well, it's very, very personal, it's very, very close to you, and you're very, very invested in something like that when you do that. What are you hoping for people to walk away gaining, knowing, or feeling?
I feel like a lot of people just know me for the raps. Like, okay, this dude can rap. So City of Olmec is like that. It's like presenting a way for someone to have a point of reference for who Crow is, in all aspects. Like, so that's what I feel like. It's a good foundation for me, and also to maybe showcase what to more or less expect from future coming projects. That it's more about than just me trying to out rap the next man.
Right.
I'm trying to make music that like speaks to a certain part of you, like whether it could be different parts, it could be different parts of the person that I'm speaking to, but at the end of the day, I don't just want some shit you just play and it's like you just talk about the raps and stuff. There has to be a deeper connection. I want people to feel connected to my music, so that's why I added that human element to it instead of just the rapper element. That's what I'd say.
All right.